Very good afternoon, students. Welcome to the class. This is your second class. Today, I'm going to discuss with you another play written by T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot is an essayist, publisher. He is a British poet and he settled in America, and he won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1948. His famous works are Murder in the Cathedral, the song, the love song of J. Alfred, terrific. So, the wasteland as well. Yesterday, sir might have taught you the long narrative poem, the long poem, The Wasteland, is written by T.S. Eliot. More than this is another drama entitled The Cocktail Party. Cocktail Party is written by him. More than this play, T.S. Eliot's Murder in the Cathedral is the most famous one. So today I'm going to discuss with you. Today I'm going to discuss with you the Cocktail Party written by T.S. Eliot. Before that, let us understand few concepts about T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot was born on September 20th of September 1888, and he died on January 4th, 1965. So his father was a religious believer, his grandfather was a religious believer, and he was also good at writing. His father, T.S. Eliot's father, was a trader, brick trade businessman. T.S. Eliot was considered bright in school from 1906 to 1910 at Harvard. While he was pursuing, he had a wide range of studies. He was interested in language, literature. He learned literature, German, French, as well as English literature. And he was kept, he had a keen interest in comparative literature. Later, he toured to Europe and he learned Sanskrit and Indian philosophy. His father's sudden death put him in a financial crisis. So that compelled him to take up a job of a school teacher. T.S. Eliot was a school teacher in 1917. He gave up teaching and started working for a foreign department of Loyola Bank till 1925. During this time, he wrote vigorously and fell with overwriting. The outbreak of the First World War took place during that period. Finally, he married to an English girl and made him to settle in London, and he made it London as his home. Though he was born in America, he came to be a nationalized citizen of England. In 1925, Eliot left Lloyd's the bank to join the publishing firm Faber and Faber, hence where he remained the rest of his career. Eventually, he became the director of that firm, Faber and Faber. He was responsible for publishing the writings of the significant writers W. H. Auden, Splendor, and Ted Hughes. At this time, his reputation as a writer grew up. So, most of his works deal with the society. Most of his works deal with society, as I told you before. So, this particular drama entitled The Cocktail Party. What do you mean the cocktail party? Cocktail party is a party, it's a social gathering where the drinks are served. So About that, the title of the drama is kept, The Cocktail Party. It was written in 1948 and published in 1950, and he has borrowed the source from Euripides Alcibiades. That is the name of the source he has borrowed, and he has given his own view of interpretation of the novel. So he has given his own thoughts about that one. So most popular play during his lifetime is Murder in the Cathedral, as I told you. And the theme of this drama is human condition, the, the way they live. We need to accept that comes in our way, then only we will be happy. That is the main theme. Because life is full of struggle. Life is full of struggle. Lots of problems are there, maybe in the marital life, maybe in the bachelor life, but we need to adjust to the situations that come in our way. So this particular play deals with the family, deals with the family, and all the people in the play belong to the aristocrat society in London home, and they are really not happy with each other. I'm going to discuss the plot with you later, and the deceptive native of the people is explained to us throughout the story. So let us go back and see what is happening there in the particular story. The play is a morality play of 20th century. One argument is that the play unveils the fall of the families by virtue of indecisiveness, in contrast to medieval morality play, which tell the audience to choose good deeds and shun the evil. So he's trying to tell us that select only the good aspects of life and shun down or shut down the evil aspects of life. There are ups and downs in life. We, the people, have to choose which is right and which is wrong. It makes it a point that it is difficult to take a rough or a tough choices, and even more difficult to face the consequences of this choice. There are many choices in our way, but we need to take up the right thing that comes in our way. And it was staged in 1949, and when it was staged, it was a mega success, grand success. It has a modern setting. It has a modern setting. Let us come back to the plot. The cocktail party, it is into three acts. The first act begins with a party, cocktail party, organized by Edward Chamberlain. And he is the one who is organizing the cocktail party for his friends, relatives, and family members in his house. He is the main character. His name is Edward Chamberlain. He is the one who organizes the cocktail party. He alone hosts the party in his house. Without anyone's assistance, he alone hosts the party in his house. All the arrangements were done by his wife Lavinia Chamberlain. He has got a wife named Lavinia. She is not there at present. When the parties are organized, she is not there at present. She is not there at present. When lots of guests ask about Lavinia, about his wife, and he tells all the guests that she has gone to meet a sick aunt. That is the reason why she is not present in the party. And The reason is different. The reason is different, but he's telling the people who are the guests who have come to attend the cocktail party, that is why Lavinia has gone out to meet a sick aunt. The real reason is the husband and wife, the relationship between husband and wife is not in a smooth way. There is a misunderstanding. There is a barrier. The relationship is not good. Even after 5 years, there is no children. There are no children. So there is the miscommunication between husband and wife. There is miscommunication between husband and wife. Both of them have extramarital relationship. Both husband and wife have extramarital relationship or affair with different people. The marriage is about to break and the relationship is about to end. They are in trouble, and that is the only reason why Lavinia did not come to the party. Usually, when the party is hosted in London, most of the people, including husband and wife, they welcome the guests till the party is ended. It is the party in London is not like the party in India. In India, when the parties are organized, people drink, fight, they scream, they shout, they move around. But whereas, as I told you before, the aristocrat family, they belong to the upper class society. They know how to behave themselves. They know how to conduct themselves in the party. So that is the only reason why Lavinia is not present in that party. So he's telling that she has gone to meet a sick aunt. Among all the guests, there is a stranger and is very, very new to Edward. Edward hasn't met him before. Edward hasn't met him before and is very new to the party. Is very new to the party. Just a minute. 1 minute. Okay. He's very new to Edward. He hasn't met him before. He keeps on asking about Lavinia, that is Edward Chamberlain's wife. And finally, he's frustrated and he just tells him that yes, there is a misunderstanding between me and my wife, and that's why she is not present in the party. And the guest keeps on asking him lots of questions whether you want to meet your wife and whether you want to get divorced from your wife, whether do you love her, and if you want to be settled together, I will make an arrangement so that you people can meet and clarify all your doubts, all your misunderstandings. And Edward openly tells the stranger that yeah, I still love her. I I know there are problems, there are ups and downs in life, and still I want to get rid of all the problems and I want to live along with my wife. And he tells one day I will bring her and you can meet her after telling this he disappears. The stranger disappears. Yeah, she is not there in the party. She might have gone out to meet her aunt. That's what the assumption. That's what the Edward tells the guests. And the stranger tells, "I will bring your wife. You can meet her. You can clarify your doubts." And after telling this, Edward, after telling this to Edward, the stranger disappears from the scene. So, and Edward concentrates on the other guests. Students, have you got this much of plot? What is the progress from the beginning till now? Students, did you get all these points? So let us move on. He keeps on speaking with the other guests who are present in the cocktail party. His conversation begins with another guest, and his name is Peter Cupel, and he is Edward's friend. He says that there is a guest in your party. Her name is Celia Copplestone, and I want to meet her, and I love her. Can you please make the arrangement for me to meet her? Who tells to whom? Peter Cupel tells to Peter Cupel tells to Edward that there is a guest named Celia Copplestone, and I want to meet her and I love her. So can you please make arrangements for us to meet? So Edward accepts whatever Peter Cupel tells. So Edward, and there is another twist in the story. There is another twist in the story. Remember, Edward and both the husband and wife had extramarital relationship. Edward had relationship with Celia Copplestone. So with Celia, he was dating and he was cheating his wife, Lavinia. Edward Celia affair, and he was cheating his wife. Since he wants to live with Lavinia, he wanted to break the relationship with Celia Copplestone, and he wanted to put an end to the problem, family problem. This clearly tells us how he accepts the life, how he tries to move on along with his wife. So he just wants to put an end to the relationship which he had with Celia. And he doesn't have any problem. Edward doesn't have any problem even if Peter Cupel runs away or elopes with Celia or gets married to Celia. Because his heart is very clear now that he is very confident that the relationship between Celia and Edward should not go further. He put a full stop to the relationship. So party ends there. So party ends there. Lavinia returns home. How Lavinia returns home? The stranger, remember the stranger he had promised, once he had promised Edward that I'm going to bring your wife and you can talk to her. And he's the same stranger who brings Lavinia home. As soon as Lavinia gets into a room, the stranger disappears from the scene. The stranger disappears from the scene. This is where Act 1 ends. This is where Act 1 ends. We are clearly introduced to the main character. We are told about Lavinia's relationship with Edward and what kind of problems they were facing and what is the relationship he had with Celia Copplestone. And we come to know who is Peter Cupel and why he wants to meet Celia. And we are clearly given the problems of the play in the first act. The problem is between husband and wife. The relationship is not at all in a smooth way. And they want to put an end to the relationship. That is the only reason why Lavinia, even though she has organized, even though she has arranged the party, she is not present. She is not there in the scene. So Clearly, we have been given the information about Edward Chamberlain, Lavinia Chamberlain, Celia Copplestone, Peter Cupro, and the stranger. Stranger name is not mentioned. I'm going to tell you as the plot progresses. So the party ends, and Lavinia returns home with the stranger. As soon as the stranger sees that Lavinia gets into her home, he disappears from the scene. This is where the first act ends. Is there any doubt with the first act, students? Students, do you have any doubts with the first act? Do you have any doubts with the first act? There we were introduced about the characters. So let us proceed. In the second act, we are told that the strange and mysterious man, about the strange and mysterious man. Who is that? His name is Sir Henry. He is a psychiatrist, is a therapist. He helps the people to come out of their problems. He helps the people to come out of their emotions. He is the one who counsels the people. We might have come across the counselor or the psychiatrist, and whenever we have the problem, we need the psychiatrist. We tell the problem, he gives the solution to us. So the counseling session. Edward and Lavinia, both of them want to try their luck with this therapist. Both of them want to meet this therapist, psychiatrist, and to get rid of their problems. So they wanted to come out of their problems. And they wanted to improve their relationship. They asked to come to meet Henry, but one thing please remember, they have never visited the psychiatrist together. If Lavinia visits today morning and in the later day in the evening, Edward will meet the therapist or the psychiatrist. So the relationship, because when there is a family counseling with the psychiatrist, and usually the session is held with two of them, But whereas here, Edward and Lavinia, both of them meet the therapist separately. The question arises here: do you think the problem between the husband and wife will be wiped out? Do you think the problems will be solved if the counselor doesn't counsel both the husband and wife together? So, therapist tells you have to come together. Then only their relationship will stay, and considering and counseling is going to be done. And you will be counseled thoroughly, and all your problems will be sorted out. All your problems will be sorted out, and each one of you will be given the chance to speak out your own problems, so that being the psychiatrist, I can provide you or I can give you some solution so that your relationship will last till the end. No counselor tells, no counselor wants to put an end to the relationship. No counselor wants to put an end to the relationship. He wants, or his final wish is, both the husband and wife should stay together till the end. Lots of divorce cases come today nowadays to the court. First, when we go to the court, what the court tells, there is a counselor, go and counsel. If there is a counselor and people are both husband and wife, they have to go to the counselor because the both of the it's not very easy to get the divorce. So once or twice or thrice you will be called to the court. In the first session you will be asked about your problems, why you want to get divorced with your husband, or why wife wants to get divorced from the husband. So both of them will be questioned, and later, the next day or the next session, they will be sent to the counselor. The counselor will ask the problems, and he will try his level best to solve the problems. No court wants the husband and wife to be separated. I'm going to tell you the role of the stranger here. The stranger is, as I told you, Henry is the one. He is an old man. Lavinia is the wife of Edward. Lavinia is the wife of Edward. There is a question there. So I'm going to tell you. So when there is a counseling session in the court, they will be counseled, and even if they are not happy, and again the next day they will be counseled, and even if they are not happy, and the divorce will be done. So that is the only reason why, because he is not the person who gives the divorce to the husband and wife. He is the not Edward. Henry is the person he is the stranger there, and he is the one who counsels the people and wants to solve the problems of the people. So let us see together. Let us move further. What happens when the things have gone wrong? When the things have gone wrong, and they need to understand each other, they need to forgive each other, then only the relationship is going to last. And they, when the counseling is done, both of them accept their mistakes, and we can see some improvement in the future, and they think, and they are very strong in their decision that they must stay together. And finally, they thank Henry, the counselor, who could solve the problems of both Edward and Lavinia. Henry has to see the last patient of the day, and that patient is none other than Celia Copplestone, who had the relationship with Edward, who had the affair with Edward, with Edward, and he is the one whom that Peter Cupel wants to marry, and Peter Cupel liked her very much, but she is not in a position to accept his love. So when she comes to the counseling, she feels guilty that she had an affair with a married man, Edward, and she admits that she has done the mistake. She is a true follower of Christ. She is a true follower of Christianity, and according to her, that's what the Bible says. Even if you look at a girl in a different manner, that is a sin. The two, if you have a relationship with another married man, that is unforgivable sin, according to the Bible. Celia Copplestone is a strong religious believer, and she wants to put an end to her problems, so she doesn't want to continue her relationship with Edward, and she accepts a mistake, that she is the one who has committed the mistake. It's called provocative, and she's provocative, and she's very young, she's very charming, and that is the only reason why Edward has fallen in love with Lavinia. Most of the families, even today, we can find, and Both the husband and wife fight because husband has got a relationship with someone or wife has got a relationship with someone. So the world is technically changed. Those days when I'm talking about my great grandparents, and there was no internet connection, there was no mobile, there is no, even if they want to move from one place to the another place, they have to walk on foot to reach to the other place. So the connection to the society is not there, disconnected. So today, sitting in one corner of the house, we can contact the person who is there in America, who is there in London, who is there in Ireland. So we have got the access to the people through internet. But whereas here, Edward has fallen in love with a charming girl. And he feels guilty that he is cheating his own wife. And even Celia, after having the relationship with Edward, she feels that she has committed a sin. That's what Bible says. According to Bible, according to Celia, according to her religion, I'm not here to preach about the religion. According to Celia, according to her belief of the Bible, even if you look at a person in a suspicious way, that is a sin. And she wants to get rid of the problems. And she tells him that I have to do something where I can get rid of my sin. So finally she realizes her mistake. And what she has done, she realizes at the end. And she is the reason for the breaking of the relationship between husband and wife. Husband and wife, they were happy before. Even they were not complaining about uh, they don't have any children. But she's the responsible, Celia Copperstone is responsible for breaking the relationship between husband and wife. So she wants to get rid of the problems. So she wants to get rid of the problems. I will do what should be done. That's what Celia says to the counselor. She prepares her mind. She prepares her mind thoroughly to come out of this sin. Here, here this is where Act 2 ends. Students, are you clear with the first act and second act? Students, are you clear with the first act and second act? Shall we proceed further? Act 2, we are told that 2 years have passed. 2 years have passed. In this act, this act also begins with a cocktail party organized. Where it is organized? It is organized in Edward Chamberlain's office. Remember, first act started with cocktail party, and even the third act, in first act, only the Edward was there. But here in third act, both husband and wife, they are very happy. They are living together. Both of them organize a cocktail party for the relatives and the friends. The party is totally different from the first one because both Edward and Lavinia both welcome the guests. They are happy. The lifestyle has completely changed. They have left behind their mistakes. They accept their life to move on. There is a transformation. There is a transformation between husband and wife. The lots of friends are there in the party. Lots of friends are there, and we are told about another guest that Julia Alexander is present along with Peter Cupid. Who is Peter Cupel? Peter Cupel is the person who wanted to get married to Celia Copperstone. And he tried his level best to counselor. She, he tried his level best to make her to accept his love. But finally, she said no. And he is with another girlfriend named Julia Alexander. And he loved Celia, but she did not accept. She did not accept his love, and that did not work. Peter has become a famous writer in Hollywood. In the party, Peter discusses about Celia. In the party, Peter discusses with the guests about Celia. Remember, there is one more thing you should remember. Both husband and wife had a relationship, extramarital relationship, right? Edward had a relationship with Celia. So with Celia, Lavinia had a relationship with Peter Cupel. So without the knowledge of both the husband and wife, they are cheating each other. And finally, they have accepted their mistake. Celia and Julia. Celia is the girl, Celia only. Edward was having a relationship with Celia. Julia Alexander is different one who has come to this party where Peter Cupel brings her to the party because he tried his level best to get married to Celia. Celia said no, and I have a different path. And he is with Julia Alexander. And there is no connection between Edward and Julia. Remember that. And Lavinia had a relationship with this Peter Cupel. So in this party, Peter Cupel talks about Celia Copperstone. And she's very, very innocent because the characters, there are many characters in the play. And I like one with Celia because she is very, very innocent. She is the first person who feels guilty about her mistake. And no one has told her to come to the counselor. And she independently comes to the counselor and speaks about her mistake, and she knows how to get rid of her problems. She knows how to get rid of her problems, and that's what she tells. I know what to do. That's what I will do. What should be done? I will do what should be done. Because as I told you before, she's very, very religious person. Truly religious. She knew it before that she had the relationship with Edward. But they can't do anything. That is the age factor. She's unmarried girl. Now she regrets her mistake. So in the party, Peter Cupel tells the guests about Celia. And he tells Celia has gone to Africa and started working in a missionary. And she has left London and she has gone to Africa and she started working in a missionary. What is a missionary? It's a charity work. And she doesn't have the intention that she is going to become a nun. She hasn't gone there to become a nun. To get rid of her sin, she wanted to serve the poor people, and she is doing some charity work in the missionary. Lots of missionaries are there in India. Missionary of Mother Teresa in Kolkata. You can see the same convent in Mysore as well, in Bangalore. What do? They care for the sick people. They care for the orphaned children. They care for the old aged people. They bring to the convent, they serve, feed them till they die. And that's what Celia is doing in Africa. That's, this is the information. Celia is not present in the scene. We are told by not Edward, Peter Cupel about Celia to us. And she was working in a missionary in Africa. So to move further, as she was working As she was working in Africa, the plague spread like wildfire. During that period, talking about 1950s, 1940s, plague was so dangerous disease. So people used to die together. Like today we have corona, like that. Plague had different dominance on the society. And plague has spread so much in Africa, and we have given the information that Syria died of plague. When this information was passed to the people who were present in the scene, who were present in the party, everyone got shocked. After listening, after listening, after listening to, after listening to Peter Cupel's talk, and they felt really unhappy. And everyone got shocked after listening about Cynthia's death, and everyone felt pity. And she has selected she has selected this path because she was willing to work in Africa and for the sake of the people. She has sacrificed her life and she has become a great martyr, and we have to respect her death for the sake of the people she died, and the life is fulfilled for Celia. And Celia thinks that she has got rid of her sin, and when the play ends, all the characters are happy. They have forgiven each other. The party ends in a happy note. So this is how all the it's a three-act play. It's the play about the modern society. You might have studied The Way of the World last year, restoration comedy, how the people behave with each other, what kind of society that was existing in those days, how people used to pull each other's legs, how people used to gather socially, how they used to spend together the time. The, this particular drama mirrors the society of 20th century. All the characters are happy. They we are not left with any other characters. All the characters are settled. Even we are not given any information that Peter Kipo got married to Julia Alexander. And we are told that he has come to the party along with her so that he can settle with her. He can settle with her. So we have seen all the drawbacks of the characters. The misunderstanding is clearly brought out, and there is a problem. That's what in the beginning of the play itself we have seen there is a problem with the two characters, main characters. Who are the main characters? Lavinia and her husband, Edward. Both of them cheat each other. Both of them cheat each other, and finally they clearly understand their mistakes. That's what we are told. We are told. I have told you in the beginning of my lecture that the theme of this particular play is about the human condition. the way we need to adjust ourselves in the society, the way we need to adjust ourselves in the family. We need to accept that comes in our way. Then only we will be happy. Then only we will be happy. So we have gone through all the characters, starting from Edward, Lavinia, Peter Cupid, Celia Copperstone, Julia Alexander, that counselor Henry is the main figure in the throughout the story. His part is very much present. His presence is very much felt throughout the story. He is the stranger who tries to make both the ends meet. He doesn't have any connection with Edward's family. And he is one of the guests who has come there to attend the party. But he is the one who keeps on asking lots of questions with Edward. And finally, Edward got fed up with this stranger, mysterious man. That's what we are told in the play. He is a mysterious man. So he tries his level best to make both husband and wife to stay together, live together. They need to forgive each other. They should not think that they don't have any children. And lots of divorce cases come today to the court because wife doesn't able to bear the child, and that's the only reason why most of the cases come to the court for the divorce. And life should move on. Life should move on. We should accept the challenges that come our way. We need to tackle. We need to tackle the problems that are there. Then only we will be able to understand the concept of life. Then only we will be able to adjust ourselves in the society. So the play begins with a problem, ends with all the problems solved. Students, do you have any questions to ask about this cocktail party story? You can ask me. I'm here to clarify all your doubts. Another 10 minutes are there. You can ask the doubts and probable questions. And comment on the title of the story, The Cocktail Party. Remember, the story begins with a party, ends with a party. In the initial party, in the beginning of the party, where we are given the information that Edward is the sole organizer of this party. But in the second party, where Lavinia joins, when I am writing the exam, you need to introduce the author. Yeah, you can talk about the author in one or two lines, not an issue. This particular drama is written by T.S. Eliot in the year 1948 and it was published in 1950. It's about a social drama of 20th century. You can write, not an issue. So, this is what I wanted to speak to you people about the story. And you may be asked to write down about the character sketch of the relationship, right? Discuss the relationship between Edward and Lavinia. You can talk about the problems, you can talk about the relationship, you can talk about the misunderstanding and why Lavinia doesn't want to be present in the cocktail party, in the first cocktail party, and how the problems are solved. Whether she is understanding why. If she is understanding why she should have an affair with Peter Fish. Every action there is a reaction. Husband had the relationship with Celia, that is the only reason why I am having. No. So when there is a misunderstanding, in the family, or when there is no understanding among husband and wife, people will always look for someone to console them. That's what happened with Edward and Lavinia. And both of them, they don't express each other that he is in love with Celia, or he is in relationship with her, or Lavinia had relationship with Peter People. Both of them, they don't confess each other. Only with the counselor, we have been given information in the second act where the counseling session takes place. They express their problems to the counselor. Then only they realize their mistakes. And if there is a problem, there is a solution to all the problems. There is no problem without solution. There is no solution if the mistakes are repeated again and again. So just look at the play in different ways. What if after the counseling, what if after the counseling both husband and wife don't change their characters? They fall to the grave which are digging each other. The relationship will break. And only character who meets her in a happy note is Celia. She recognized, reconciled her problems, and she went to Africa to serve the poor family. And she's so charming, and she is so young, and she could have settled down in London along with Peter Keeple or someone else. She is very rich. She's, she had enough money so that to lead her life. She could have chosen the different path. Why she has selected this missionary work is she wants to get rid of her sin. That's what she was thinking. Even she was thinking that one day I will be forgiven if my sins are forgiven by God. I will be forgiven by the people, or I will be taken to heaven if my sins are forgiven by God. And that's what she's considered to be a Christian martyr. Martyr, who is a martyr? The person who sacrifices his life for the sake of the people. Martyr, a martyr. So she's a good Christian soul. She meets her end. So there is a question, when we conducted our final exams, so I'll try how to answer the questions. Students, when you get the question papers with you, please read the questions very carefully and answer only the question which is asked. If the question is asked about the relationship between Edward and Lavinia, you need to answer only the particular question. You cannot answer about Celia, or you cannot answer about Lavinia, so you cannot answer about Julia Alexander. There is no connection between Edward and Julia Alexander. So the questions are going to be 10 marks. You need to write about 2.5 pages. Don't try to fill the pages for the sake of filling. Evaluation process is quite tough. We will go through all the lines. There should be content for the evaluator to give the marks. Don't scribble down. Don't write like the drunken cockroach walking on the paper. Write neatly. Your handwriting should be legible for the evaluator to read through. Manage your time. Time management is very, very important. So this is what I wanted to discuss with you about this play. It is a 3-act play of the 20th century written by T.S. Eliot. And even apart from this play, as I told you, Murder in the Cathedral, you can go through, you can read. That is a fantastic story. Murder in the Cathedral. Please go through the novel or go through the text carefully, read through, you will understand. Murder in the Cathedral, the title itself provokes the reader to read through. I've read it twice. I've taught it for the students as well. So, do you have any other questions to ask? Please ask me. So, when there is a character sketch, when there is a character sketch, when there is a character sketch, please don't omit all the minute details should be kept in your mind and you have to write down. That's what. If you are asked to write about Celia, write the character sketch of Celia, and she tells you at the end, I will do what should be done. She prepares her mind to meet her end. And in the third act, at the end, Celia is not present. Physically, she is not present. But we are given the information about Celia by Peter Kay. How she has met her end in Africa and she died of plague. She died of plague. Please keep all the characters in your mind, and the best way to remember the plot is take a sheet of paper, write down all the characters, their relationship, and in first act what happens, in second act how it progresses, third act how the story develops, and what happens at the end of the play. At the end of the play. Definitely you may be asked a question. Write a note on the title of the play. Justify the title of the play, The Cocktail Party. Students, do you have any questions to ask? Edward's relationship with Lavinia. As I told you, they're husband and wife. Celia and Julia, they don't have any connection between them. Celia hasn't seen Julia Alexander. When Julia is brought to the party by Edward Hugo, she was already present. She was there in Africa and she died of plague. Okay. Students, tomorrow when we meet, tomorrow I'm going to discuss with you another important novel. It's quite interesting. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to discuss with you tomorrow. And till then, take care. And do you have any questions? Do you have questions to ask? If you have understood, please remember all the concepts which I have discussed. Please remember all the concepts which I have discussed. All the characters, please remember how the story progresses from the beginning till the end. And you can take down like bullet points. Then only you'll be able to remember how the story progresses. Once if you are thorough with the plot, and you will be able to understand how to write the answers for the questions which are going to be asked in the examination. So take care, students. See you tomorrow.